Hi, I'm Rick. Welcome to my Around the World adventure, and today we are talking about the Spanish elephants in the room, specifically 5 more cultural oddities that you'll find here in Spain. Every culture has its quirks. Spain is no different. Fortunately, it's not that much different than you got in the United States, but it could be worse. You could be worried about, where you point your feet. In Thailand, it's a big deal. You never point your feet at anybody. You never touch them on the head. Be happy you don't have to worry about things like that here. Number 1, strangely, are slippers. We found these when we came into our Airbnb. Why? Because Spaniards apparently don't like bare feet. Now at the beach it's okay, everywhere else not so much. Now my problem is I got size 12 Fred Flintstone feet. They don't really fit in these things. Now I have it on good authority from an actual Spaniard that this is really a thing. They all kind of have multiple slippers in their own home. And when they go, they take off their shoes, they wander around, and their bare tootsies will never touch a bare floor. Now for me, I didn't even own socks until 6 months ago, so I'm not so sure that I could actually become a real Spaniard. Number 2, staring. Yes, staring. It's a thing here, and I've confirmed this with some Spanish friends. When you're walking along and you make eye contact with somebody, they don't break contact. Now in the States, if you had done that, people will instantly avert their eyes because it's rude or aggressive. Not here. They will hold your gaze, and people are doing it right now. It might have something to do with my camera, but they will stare you down. It's not rude here, it's just they like the look. So when you're walking down the streets of anywhere in Spain, get used to it. Okay, here's a fun one. Spaniards have this natural tendency to, not hear noises, to be able to handle loudness. This is what I live with every single day for the month of April. But Spaniards, they don't seem to notice. You can go into a cafe that's loud as hell, and they're having their own conversations. They don't seem to notice the din. Now, I personally find this rather perplexing. Maybe it's my American sensibilities, where I'm just kind of used to having quiet. But here and pretty much everywhere in Spain, at least in the major places, it's very, very loud. You have scooters which have no mufflers at all. I think they're just there for decoration. Lots of motors, lots of trucks, lots of buses. It's just a cacophony every single place you go. And Spaniards, they don't seem to notice. They don't seem to care. I kind of really wish I was a Spaniard because I would sleep a whole lot better when this constantly goes by. Okay, here's a fun one. What time do you think you eat dinner? 6 p.m.? Oh, no. Do you see the restaurant behind me right back there? It is, check out my watch, it's not quite 8. They're not quite open. You're not getting dinner here at 8 o'clock. A lot of the restaurants open at 8 or later. People typically eat dinner around 9 or 10 o'clock or even beyond. It's what you do in Spain. Now, you're going to find that this bleeds into your personal life as well. For instance, when you cook dinner at night, we typically cook around 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Then again, we're also going to bed around 2 or 3 in the morning. Spaniards have a very different sense of time than the rest of the world. And by that I mean they work and they work hard, but they work to play. So they're up half the night playing. And they take siestas in the afternoon. A lot of folks, you'll find a lot of shops, a lot of restaurants, a lot of everything kind of closes in the afternoon, especially in the heat of the summer, just to open back up, and they just keep on going. So when you're in Spain, you're going to have to learn to live on Spanish time. By that I mean you're going to have a late breakfast and a very small one at that. Lunch is your big heavy meal of the day. You're going to have tapas and drinks with friends in the early evening, and not till much later at night are you going to have dinner, a small dinner, really late, because you're going to go to bed late. Spain is actually not Spain. Spain is a collection of 17 autonomous communities. Think to 17, might be 19. Don't hold me to it. Go Google it and find out for yourself. But anyway, in Barcelona, you are in an autonomous region called Catalonia. They have their own language. They have their own culture. It used to be its own place before Spain became, Spain. And here's a big don't for you when you do come to Spain. Don't assume that the language that they're speaking, Catalan, Galician, Basque, whatever it is, don't go and say, hey, that's sort of like, that's like Spanish, isn't it? They're not going to like that very much. No, it's very own language. Now, Catalan sounds a whole lot like Spanish and a whole lot like French, but it is very much its own place. And the farther you go into these regions, the less Spanish flags you'll see flying and the more flags of that area you will see waving in the the breeze. Now, as far as my sensibilities are concerned, I actually like this a whole lot better. Why? Because you're not just going to a single place. If you were going to the United States, you would go to the south or you would go to the northwest, and they would be decidedly different, but here in Spain, they are very, very different. So by just going a few hundred kilometers in any direction, you can see as big of a change in cultures as if you had gone to France or Switzerland. It is incredible and one of the absolute best things about Spain. Now, I'm sure the autonomous communities kind of wish they were on their own, and I know here in Catalonia, it's kind of a big thing. I'm not getting into politics on that one. But for a traveler like me who wants to experience a whole lot of culture, yeah, you could spend a few weeks just traveling around this fine country and you're going to see everything from Moorish down in the south to bagpipes playing up in Galicia in the north. So time is winding down for us here in Barcelona. We're almost done with this portion of the trip. I'm not sure whether to be happy or sad about that, but watch the video that's popping up and it'll kind of explain, well, what my mood was then or now or something. I don't know. With that, be healthy, be happy, and we're going to see you real soon.